Your stomach manufactures hydrochloric acid strong enough to dissolve metal. Yet your stomach does not dissolve itself. There is no cruel irony here, no betrayal of chemistry, there is just engineering. Your body built 3 separate walls between the acid and itself. When they fail, you get an ulcer. When they work, you never even notice. Your stomach makes pepsin, which cuts proteins into pieces by targeting peptide bonds. But pepsin is not released ready to work. Chief cells in the stomach lining produce it in an inactive form called pepsinogen. Pepsinogen is a safety lock preventing the enzyme from destroying its own cell. If pepsin activated inside the cell would digest itself. The lock opens only in the stomach lumen when pepsinogen meets hydrochloric acid. Acid removes a small peptide fragment from pepsinogen, and it becomes pepsin. Now pepsin works at its optimal pH of 2 to 3, cutting apart dietary proteins. Once the meal moves into the small intestine and pH rises above 4, pepsin shuts down. This is not a flaw in the design. This is the design. Pepsin only works in one place at 1 pH and only on food. But one enzyme is not enough to solve the acid problem alone. Pepsin cannot work in the stomach without acid, and acid is a problem by definition. So the stomach built a wall made of mucus and bicarbonate together. A physical and chemical wall separates the acid from the tissue. This wall is made of mucus and bicarbonate, and it does most of the work. Mucus is secreted by foveolar cells that line the stomach surface constantly. It forms a thin, continuous gel layer, less than 80 micrometers thick overall. The gel has a sponge-like structure that traps particles and slows diffusion. Mucus is a physical barrier that slows down proton diffusion through it. It is not impenetrable, but it is sticky, and it slows the acid down. The mucus acts as a sieve, trapping and diffusing acid particles slowly. The thickness is maintained at a steady state through continuous secretion. Without the mucus, acid would reach epithelial cells in seconds. With the mucus, it takes many minutes for acid to diffuse through. The gel is hydrophobic in its inner structure, repelling acid somewhat. But stopping acid is not enough to protect the cells beneath it. Foveolar cells secrete bicarbonate directly into the mucus in an active process. Bicarbonate is a buffer that reacts with protons and converts them into carbon dioxide. It neutralizes acid on contact instantly. The bicarbonate mixes within the mucus layer, distributed throughout. The result is a remarkable gradient maintained by your body every moment. The stomach lumen stays acidic at pH 2, but at the epithelial cell surface, pH climbs to 7 or 8. The cells are bathed in near-neutral juice despite the acid above them. This is not magic, this is math. Bicarbonate arrives in the mucus continuously as acid arrives continuously. The buffer equilibrium holds the pH near neutral at the surface. Your epithelial cells swim in acid that has been neutralized down to pH 7, 80 micrometers below a lumen of pure acid. This is not automatic or passive. It requires active biological work. Vagal nerves and stomach stretching trigger bicarbonate secretion actively. Stimulants of bicarbonate secretion include nerve signals, calcium, and prostaglandins. Inhibitors include nerve blockers, metabolic poisons, and nonsteroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. Block prostaglandin synthesis, and you block bicarbonate secretion immediately. The barrier weakens when the chemical signals fail. This is why aspirin and ibuprofen can cause ulcers. Prostaglandins are hormone-like molecules that coordinate the defense. They stimulate the cells to produce both mucus and bicarbonate. They increase blood flow to maintain oxygen and nutrients. They promote healing if small damage does occur. They act on multiple cell types simultaneously in the stomach. Prostaglandins also regulate fluid secretion and mucus consistency. The mucus bicarbonate barrier is the main reason you do not digest yourself. It is a moat and a chemical plant combined. But even this barrier has limits and failures. It cannot repair damage that happens faster than it can prevent it. Which brings us to the third wall beneath the mucus and bicarbonate. Because even if acid gets past the mucus and bicarbonate, another mechanism is waiting. The stomach replaces its entire surface lining faster than acid can damage it. Surface pit cells turn over every 3 to 5 days. That is one of the fastest cell replacement rates in your body. Your intestines are second place in the speed of renewal, but not all stomach cells turn over at the same rate. Surface pit cells, the fastest, turn over every 3 to 5 days. Parietal cells, which make acid, last about 2 months, which make pepsinogen, last over 9 months. Under normal conditions, gastric epithelial cells undergo continuous dynamic renewal within 3 days. This rate accelerates if the stomach is stimulated by injury or inflammation. Damage speeds up the replacement cycle. This solves a profound problem. Acid damages cells every moment of the day. Damaged cells are shed into the stomach lumen. New cells rise from the pits beneath to replace them. The barrier stays intact through constant turnover and renewal. Your stomach surface is completely renewed in 3 to 5 days. Meanwhile, the acid never stops flowing. The balance holds because the system is designed for this. New cells are stronger and fresher than old cells. They have not been exposed to acid for days. The cells migrate upward from deep pits toward the surface. As they reach the surface, they mature and flatten. Then they shed into the lumen as waste. The entire pit contains cells at different stages of development. Deep pit cells are new and immature stem cells. Mid-pit cells are differentiating and gaining their specialties. Surface pit cells are mature and about to be shed. The replacement is constant, not in waves or cycles. Every day, countless old cells are replaced by new ones. The third wall is not a wall at all. It is a conveyor belt. Worn-out cells get shed, and healthy cells keep coming. 3 defenses work together to protect you from yourself. Pepsin locked until needed by the presence of acid. Mucus and bicarbonate maintaining a pH gradient between acid and cells. Cells that replace themselves faster than they can be broken down. When all 3 work together, you do not feel a thing. When all 3 fail, you feel ulcers. How do we know this is what happens in the stomach? Because we have watched it happen at every level of measurement. Researchers extract pepsinogen from chief cells and expose it to acid. They watch it activate into pepsin under the microscope. The transformation is instant and measurable. The activation happens in seconds when acid is present. We measure the mucus layer thickness directly using tissue samples. Less than 80 micrometers, continuous gel-like. We can extract it and test its buffering capacity in laboratories. The buffering effect is consistent and reliable. We can measure how quickly the bicarbonate neutralizes added acid. The neutralization happens so fast it appears instantaneous. We insert pH probes into the stomach and measure the gradient. Lumen is pH 2, the acid zone. Surface is pH 7 to 8, the safe zone. The gradient is real and actively maintained. The pH shift happens across the thickness of the mucus layer. The shift is not gradual everywhere, but depends on depth. We can map out the exact pH profile across the entire thickness. Different regions show different buffering strengths based on bicarbonate concentration. Stronger buffering occurs where bicarbonate secretion is most active. We track cell replacement using isotope labeling and tissue biopsy. We count cell cycles and measure turnover time directly. We can identify cells at each stage of their life cycle. We test bicarbonate secretion by measuring ion concentration at different stomach regions. We observe it respond to vagal nerve stimulation. Stimulation increases bicarbonate concentration within minutes. The response is reproducible and dose-dependent on stimulation strength. We measure stomach mucosal integrity using electrical resistance. Intact barrier shows high resistance to acid penetration. Breached barrier shows low resistance and acid leaks through. The electrical signal is a direct measure of barrier function. The resistance changes with barrier damage in real time. We know this works because intact stomachs do not have ulcers. We know this fails because ulcers exist. But this brings us to the actual question we need to answer. What breaks the barrier in the first place? The barrier is elegant, but it is not invincible. And invincibility is not how your body works. Your body optimizes for normal conditions. When normal conditions change, the barrier can fail. 2 things break the barrier consistently: infection and pills. Let us start with infection first. One bacterium is responsible for most ulcers on Earth. It is called Helicobacter pylori. It does not work alone. Helicobacter pylori burrows into the mucus layer and disrupts bicarbonate secretion. It produces virulence factors that cleave tight junction proteins between cells. It breaches the epithelial layer's cellular adhesion. The bacteria produces a virulence factor called PQQE, a protease. PQQE cleaves junctional adhesion molecule A, or JAMA. This destroys the tight junctions between cells. Once tight junctions fail, the barrier fails. Acid penetrates into the tissue beneath. Ulcers form where the tissue is exposed. The bacteria also triggers inflammation, which further weakens the barrier. The immune system tries to attack the bacteria, But the inflammation damages the barrier too. Infected cells release inflammatory molecules that attack themselves. The second cause is non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. NSAIDs like aspirin and ibuprofen block prostaglandin synthesis. Prostaglandins regulate bicarbonate secretion and mucus secretion. Prostaglandins regulate blood flow to the stomach lining. Block prostaglandins and you block all three at once. The mucus thins and the bicarbonate secretion slows. Blood flow to the protective layer decreases. The barrier weakens from multiple angles simultaneously. NSAIDs can cause ulcers without bacteria present. Bacteria cause ulcers without NSAIDs present. Together, they are more dangerous to the stomach. Your stomach is not fighting acid. It is preventing the acid from reaching what acid touches. It is an engineering problem solved through three separate systems. Three layers of defense work together perfectly under normal conditions. Inactivate the enzyme, make the barrier thick and neutral. Replace cells constantly. When one fails, the others hold. When two fail, the third slows the damage. When all three fail, you feel the pain of ulcers. The system is redundant by design, so single failures do not destroy it. But all three failing together is catastrophic for the tissue. Most ulcers occur when one barrier fails and the second weakens together. The mucus-bicarbonate system fails most often because it requires constant maintenance. The cell replacement system provides the insurance policy that completes the defense. This video is educational, not medical advice. If you have stomach pain or ulcer symptoms, talk to your doctor. Your next video is about what happens when the stomach acid itself fails.